Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. Hello my divination darlings, it is so nice to have you here. Today I want to do a live catch up, I want us to chat. It's the last video of me filming as part of vlogmas. There's still a video coming out on Christmas, but this video is the last one I'm filming. I wanted to have a catch up, talk about what's been going on behind the scenes, kind of do a little live catch up, which I like to do every now and then on my channel. And I also wanted to do a kind of like adapted VR to the hashtag ENDOFYEARTAROTTAG that was created by Spirited Stardust Chanel, where we'll be talking about tarot decks, oracle decks, a perfect way to round up the year. So that's what I want to do today. And as per usual, in the description box, you're going to find timestamps. So if you just here for the tarot tag, you're welcome to jump ahead. If you want to join for the live chat, live update, I tell you what's been going on behind the scenes, then thank you so much for being here. You also find other videos of mine you may want to check out. For example, if you've not seen all the vlogmas videos, then I'll try and remember to leave all the links down there below. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining. My name is Marine, I'm a French tarot reader. I love decks, tarot decks, oracle decks, I make no distinction, I love them all. I love reading the cards, so if you'd like to see any of that on your timeline, make sure to subscribe. I would love to have you. And without further ado, let's get into my little catch-up. So like I said, we're gonna start with a little live catch up and then we'll move on to the tarot tag. I wanted to do this little catch up because at the moment of me filming this is the last video I'm filming as part of my whole vlogmas challenge. So if you haven't heard yet, maybe you've just joined the channel, and if that's the case, thank you so much for being here. I gave myself the crazy challenge of posting one video every 2 days from the 1st of December till the 25th of December. So there will be a video coming on Christmas Day, but that's all ready to go, and today I'm filming the last one. And to be honest, this is an extremely big challenge I gave myself because, for those of you who are not aware, like I said, maybe you've just joined the channel, I navigate the waters of chronic illness, chronic pain, so my body is constantly doing weird things, it's constantly in a lot of pain, I go through repeated injuries a lot, I have what we call invisible disability. When you see me doing my videos, you might not see the disability, but trust me, it is there and affecting my day-to-day life very much. So giving myself a challenge like this, constantly showing up every 2 days, one video, very ambitious, and I've never done anything like this. Even though I love filming on YouTube, it's still something that I'm only able to do when I feel good, when I feel able to, when my body physically allows me to do that. But this year I really wanted to make Vlogmas happen because I know that the end of the year can be very difficult for a lot of people. If you've lost someone close, if you are alone, if you're estranged from family, it can be a really triggering month, December. So I wanted to do what I could to show up and to kind of like make the months a little bit magical. And so I've started working on this Vlogmas idea since end of October, beginning of November. I've been filming videos ever since, preparing, planning, filming as much as I could because I know my body could throw a fit and flare up, and I knew I couldn't rely on me feeling good every day. I actually prepared this a lot. What I didn't anticipate was that I would be needing this vlogmas and these magical vibes as much as you guys who are going through a rough time, because it turned out that the month of December was probably one of the worst months of my year. I'm not gonna lie. It was very difficult, partly why I'm doing a hands video, and I know it can be a little bit boring to just see hands. I had planned to film this video heads on, but honestly I'm in too much pain. I've got my ice pack going on right now, feeling just more comfortable at this moment filming hands on, and this is why I put a little time frame for those of you who don't like those kind of catch-ups. December turned out to be pretty awful. I had what my friend called a gauntlet of doctor appointment, which wasn't planned. Took a lot of my time. I ended up having a lot of doctor appointments, which wasn't planned, doing a lot of scans, blood tests and meetings and stuff, all related to health stuff, which I won't go into here, but just meant that what was supposed to be a month focused on already this big challenge of me trying to show up for my videos every 2 days. So I've been editing my Instagram videos in the waiting room, my planning where I could, the times I could, editing my videos at night when I was coming back from doctor appointments. I'm just really trying to make it work, and I'm very, very grateful that I did. If you're seeing this video, then it means I've managed. It means I have posted like 13 videos in 25 days, which is unheard of for me. Again, I have the basis of someone who's navigating with chronic pain, chronic illness. I know a regular content creator, that's nothing. They do that all the time. Some of them even post every day, and they have my absolute respect. But at my level, I really didn't think I would make it. The first thing I wanted to say is, one, I'm very proud of myself for making it despite a really challenging month. Again, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I also had some life news in terms of like day-to-day, some food intolerances, for example, which were huge. Like, there's so much stuff I can't eat anymore for at least 6 months, which is super annoying, especially as we approach the end of year. Being a French person, they can't have bread, they can't have potatoes, they can't have rice, they can't have anything that relates to joy. Trust me, it's a really difficult time. A lot of ingredients I can't have anymore. So that's been a whole adaptation as well, and to like find my footing, plus all the gauntlet of doctor appointments, and it's just been a lot going on behind the scenes that meant that I've been feeling very untethered. And I know I'm not the only one, because I've spoken to my friends and I've spoken with you guys, and I know a lot of us have been struggling this month, and especially the last new moon that was going on in Sagittarius. Then the next day it was Mercury retrograde. Ooh, girl, I think we all felt that in our soul. Shite. So I know that I'm not the only one, and this is definitely not meant to be a woe is me segment. It's just meant to be telling you what's been going on, and mostly what I want to do in this little segment is to thank you, because the only reason, I'm gonna be honest, that I kept to my word and actually managed to post every day on Instagram my little advent calendars, which if you haven't seen, I'll leave it in the link below. Then posting those long videos every 2 days and trying to just come up with fun things for you to watch. Couldn't have honestly done it without all your comments, all your lovely words that you were sending to me either by DMs or on my YouTube videos, like all the messages I was getting, all your views, even you just watching. It meant the world to me, and it still does. And I just wanted to thank you so much for being here this year, the previous year, for your kindness, for your support, and just for being absolutely sweet and amazing humans. So what's next for the channel? Very briefly, I don't know if there will be videos coming out between Christmas and New Year's, because to be honest, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've got tons of ideas. My body is way past the point where it's like, you need to chill now. So I'm not sure if the new videos will come up before the 1st, but be assured there will be videos coming in January. There's a ton of stuff I'm working on. I've got a huge project in the works regarding tarot reading and us doing a reading journey together, which is going to be amazing. Of course, there's still going to be a lot of content around decks, and it's just going to continue to be a good time. At the end of the day, that's the main for my channel, is to cultivate a place of joy, cultivate a place where we can talk about our shared passion. But hopefully all the content in December will keep you going until I can come back. And again, don't worry, because even for Christmas, I've got something planned for you. So Christmas Day, there'll be one more video. So that was my little catch up. I want to get into the tarot tag now, so let's get into it. So like I said, this little part of the video is going to be a kind of adapted VR to the hashtag end of year tarot tag. This is a hashtag that was created by Chanel from Spirited Stardust, who, if you're not watching, you guys, you're missing out. Chanel is so sweet. She does monthly favorites and deck reviews, and she's really into craft, making her own crochet bags and stuff, which are always super cute. So I'll leave the link to her channel down below. Make sure to check her out, and if you do, tell her I say hi. And so this is supposed to be a rounding off of the year, but actually some of the prompts I had made already dedicated videos about. So I've kind of like adapted the prompts to the tag. The first from this tag is the deck I use the most during this year, and actually this is one I've made a dedicated video about. As part of Vlogmas, I made a whole video about my most used tarot and oracle decks, and they are like the oldies but goodies, not my new decks, not my new favorite decks or anything like that, but like the oldies but goodies, the workhorse decks that I've had for years, that I use the most this year and all the other years, that keep showing up for me again and again. So I'll leave it in the cards here. I highly suggest you watch it, because I explain to you how I use them, how they integrate part of my practice, everything like that. but I will share with you one of the decks mentioned in this video, which is one of the decks I've used the most this year, and to be honest, every year, and that's the Goddess Oracle. The Goddess Oracle, it's a mass market deck. I've actually trimmed mine off. It came with huge white borders, which I took off. It's a very bad trim job, okay? I'm aware of that. We're aware of that. Everybody can see it. Please don't judge me. I know it's terrible. Goddesses from all around the world. And I love this one because the guidebook that comes with it is amazing. It's one of the best guidebooks out there. And for an oracle that's mass market, we love that. The goddesses depicted are really interesting, coming from lots of different countries. Very powerful keywords. Lots of juicy information in the guidebook. And I use this as part of my moon practice, specifically my full moon practice, and again in that dedicated videos of most used decks of 2023, which I leave in the cards, I explain to you exactly how I use it pretty much every year since I've gotten it. It's one of my oldest oracle decks, and it's one that's just keep showing up for me. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's a workhorse. I've made a really strong connection with this deck. I know it really well now. Like I said, the guidebook is so great. There's like a lot of rituals you can do and like ideas for connecting with the goddess, and the way it's written, it's really empowering and beautiful. The next prompt is a deck I didn't use at all, and that was actually quite easy. I didn't have to look for long. A deck I didn't use at all this year is the Surrealist Tarot by this is the French version, so in French it's Le Tarot Surréaliste, and it's by Lo Scarabeo. This was actually a gift from my dad. Stereotypical Lo Scarabeo. It has a little white guidebook and then some title cards, and obviously as the themes here are the backs, and as the theme suggests, this is a surrealist tarot, so inspired by the works of Dali and the Dada movement and all of that. And I haven't used it yet. You can see it's still in order. I've looked at it a lot, but I've never actually used it in a reading. I don't know why. I can't quite explain it to you. I think it's like almost too daunting, and so I've gotten in my head that I'm gonna have a struggle with it, whereas I should just give it a go, get over myself, and just try it. Sometimes I can be like that, sometimes I can get in my own head. I mean, who doesn't? I think we all can relate to that, and almost like stop myself from doing stuff because I listen to fear or whatever. And so this one, it wasn't the one that I originally planned on having. Like I said, it was a surprise. My dad got it because he just saw tarot on it and he knew I like tarot decks, so for him he didn't specifically think about what it is. He just thought Marine likes tarot decks, I'm gonna get her a tarot deck. And I'm super grateful for the gift, and that's why I've not it, because normally when a deck when I don't use a deck, I just let it go. I've gotten rid of a lot of decks this year, but this one, because it's a present from my dad, I've kept it, and I think I just need to give it a chance. But there was something about this, it's not called me in this year. It just didn't feel like, I've not been feeling called to use it. I've not been feeling the pull to get into it. At the moment of me filming, I'm starting to make a list of the decks to which I want to give a second chance to next year. So I'm making a list of those, and I'm planning like the decks I really want to use next year, that I want to give a real chance to, and obviously this is one of those that I just need to give it a chance. It's actually quite rare in my collection to have decks I've never read with. I think this is the only one. All the other decks I've had, like I said, I usually give them a go, and then if I don't like them, I will pass them on. But this one, I'm just holding on to it for sentimental value, and I think I just needed to give it a real chance. The next prompt is your most recent addition. So I've actually made a whole video not that long ago, which I will leave in the cards. Again, it was part of my vlogmas. I'm sharing with you all of my new decks. There's Oracle, Tarot. Highly recommend you checking it out. I'll put it in the cards. One of the new decks included in that haul, I'll share with you one, but there's lots more you can see in that video, is the Monsoon Tarot. And this is a deck I got on Vermilion Collection, I believe their Etsy shop is. There's two versions you can get of this deck. There's a deluxe version with a fancy box, and there's like the cheaper version that is coming in the tuck box. I was mostly interested in the cards, to be honest, so I didn't really care about the box. I didn't mind. What really drew me in with this particular deck is the artwork, and it's a deck that for me feels very ethereal. It feels very like dreamlike. Obviously you're gonna see a lot of the faces actually are blurred, which when I first originally saw this deck a few months ago, totally put me off and totally made me anti-haul this deck. I was like, no, I hate this. They look unfinished. I don't like it. Can you see? The person's face in the background is blurry and almost like a spiral, versus a card like the Lovers, it's fully drawn and beautiful. So that dichotomy really bothered me when I first saw the deck back in the day. Like, it threw me off and I didn't think I'd like it. That being said, I gave this deck a second chance, rewatching some reviews recently, and I absolutely fell in love with the artwork, specifically cards like this. Like, this Hierophant does something to me. I can't explain to you what it does, but on a soul level, it brings me somewhere, some places that I'm just like, wow, I feel something very profound when I look at this particular Hierophant, and I'm always in the lookout for a good Hierophant because it's my birth card. Love this Hangman, also one of my favorite. Juxtaposition of like this robot who is dying in the water. Almost looks like we're witnessing a post-war, like there was a war or something where robots had to fight, and this one sadly fell. He's been in the grass for a long time, overgrown. It's post-apocalypse. The part of the robot that's still working is this little projector, this little holo here, that's still projecting some magic, still projecting some dancing here. And I'm thinking we have the dichotomy between potentially technology, robots, and here beauty, art, grace. Maybe that's what the robot was trying to defend, or maybe that was their old owner or something. I don't know. There's something about this deck that just makes you feel like you can invent stories so easily that really pleases me and my imagination. I love when I can get a deck and fully let my intuition speak, let my imagination run wild. So I've totally gone over my bother of those weird faces. I can see it now as being in dreams where you can't quite remember people's faces. Something about this that is super ethereal, dreamlike, magical. It's also a little bit of a headache, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's so different to your traditional Rider-Waite Smith that when you work with it, you really have to take your time and let it speak to you and let your imagination and intuition do the work, because it doesn't rely on traditional imagery that we're used to so much. At least not all the cards. The Monsoon Tarot, we received it just as we're finishing the year, and I'm super excited to get to know it better and to work with this next year. The next prompt is, what is a deck or decks I rehomed? So I'm gonna put some images here. I actually got rid of at least 20 or 30 decks this year. There was this like moment where I went through a huge declutter that I didn't film because I'm a bad YouTuber. If you don't know that now, you should. I'm a bad YouTuber. And I don't film my declutters. I'm an Aries, I make impulse decision. I don't have time for that, to be honest. I'm just like, if I decide I'm done with something, it needs to go, and it needs to be gone, like since yesterday. So I've gotten rid of quite a few decks. I've gifted a lot of them to my friends. I've got a friend who's getting into Tarot and Oracle, so she's very happy. She's getting a lot of decks from me. The latest two I've gifted them is the Vision Quest Tarot. I'll put an image here somewhere, and the Modern Witch Tarot. The Vision Quest I actually had for ages. It's one of the decks I've had the longest, and even though I adore the artwork and I thought that the guidebook specifically very, very healing, I realized I wasn't drawn to it anymore. I wasn't really using it, and my friend loved it. She loves hummingbirds and stuff like that, so I just gave it to her because I knew that she would love it so much and that she would make a really good use out of it. The other latest deck I rehomed this year was the Modern Witch Tarot, which is an awesome deck. It's really good. I leave an image here somewhere. I don't have anything bad to say about this deck. I've recommended it to a ton of people for starting, for if you're a beginner or anything like that. And the reason why I rehomed it, because my friend's niece is wanting to get into tarot. She's a teenager and she was asking for a tarot deck to start reading. And so I gifted that to her as her first deck, because it is perfect, honestly, as a first deck. I think it follows the RWS, but with more representation, and she could see a lot of her friends and herself in that deck. So I was very, very happy and blessed to be able able to gift her first deck, and she loves it. I didn't need that deck anymore because I've got other RWS clones. I've got the Good Karma Tarot, I've got the Neo Tarot, I've got the Lights Years. I've got enough modern RWS decks that I can enjoy and use, so I really was happy that I was able to gift someone their first deck. It was a very special experience, and even better when she was sending me pictures of her first readings. That felt super special. The next prompt is favorite pairing. Now this, I actually made a whole video dedicated about that for vlogmas, so again I'll leave it in the cards, I won't repeat myself here. And the prompt after that is your favorite mod or bag or accessory. Now I haven't actually modded any decks this year, I don't think, and I sadly am very shit at crochet or any kind of knitting or even making bags. I don't know how to sew. All my amazing bags are made by friends or my mom, who's a very good seamstress. I did want it to show is like accessory wise, I did treat myself to something for Christmas this year, and I wanted to share it with you because I'm so pumped. And it's from this brand called Sai. This is the brand here. This is a French brand. It's a French indie brand. They make jewelry where you can infuse essential oil blends, and they also create their own essential blends. And they're very popular in the cartomancy French world because they created a line of liquid incense which are all inspired by traditional cartomancy. And so for Christmas I treated myself and I ordered, which is associated with the Queen of Spades, La Dame de Pique. Her name is Palace here. And so what they do is they've created, in collaboration with Yena, who is a French YouTuber, tarot creator, tarot reader. I'll leave the link to her channel down below. I love everything she does, so if you've not heard of her, you should absolutely check her out. They've worked with her on this particular line where they have one different liquid incense bottle inspired by the different queens. So Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts, etc. I treated myself to the Queen of Spades, Palace, and what you do is you can spray your hands and use it before you do a reading. You can use it before meditation, you can use it to spritz your room, whatever you like to do. I treated myself to this one for Christmas because I really wanted it for ages. Look at that, it's beautiful everything they do. And because I'm an Aries and I'm an aged, when I treat myself to something, it's usually to more than one thing. So what I did is I also ordered a ring because they create jewelry that you can put their essential oil blends on and it will infuse. So this you might have seen in my recent videos because I've actually been wearing it non-stop the whole half of the month. I ordered this early for Christmas. It actually came early and I was too impatient and I didn't want to wait, so I've actually been wearing this the whole time. You've seen it a lot on my videos. They do bracelets, they do different necklaces and stuff, and what you do is here you can put you can spritz the essential oil on, and with each jewelry you get a sample. So I actually have a sample of the Queen of Diamonds here, of Rachel, the blend that they've done for the Queen of Diamonds. And so with this you can spritz your jewelry and let it dry. Actually every part of their jewelry that is gray like this is made specifically for diffusing the essential oil throughout the whole day. So you can then smell it out, use it throughout the whole day, smell your delicious essential oil blend. And if you're not into the jewelry, you can just get the big ones and use them, like I said, before your reading, meditation, etc. They don't just have rings, they've got some necklaces, they've got some really gorgeous bracelets, and everything is homemade. It's like a little French indie brand. They're really good, efficient customer service. Like, they create a lot of cool stuff on Instagram. I definitely recommend you to check them out. I've been really obsessed with my particular essential oil blends. I've been obsessed with this ring. I've been looking for a ring like this for ages, like years. I'm so happy to find one because I couldn't find a vintage one. So I'm happy for this option, and at least now I can smell my delicious essential oil blend throughout the day. I love to use the Palace one meditation. I always loved essential oil blends anyway. Like, I've got some here, so the ones from Be Happy Life, for example. I've got this Pluto Death and Transition oil, which I really enjoy. I've got the ones from Pranic Forest, which I really love. They do really amazing essential oil rolls blend that I always like to do before my reading or meditation. So I've had some that are like much older and that I've had for ages, so it's been really nice to have like a new set. And actually I'm super tempted to pick up the one that's inspired by the Queen of Coin, the Queen of Clover, I think you call her, I can't remember, because I know it's inspired by some more green scent, and I think that's gonna be amazing for me because I love green scent. This one, I forgot to tell you what it smells like. Notes are lavender, vetiver, tonka beans, vanilla. Smell the vetiver a lot in this one, but what you're left with after a few hours is a tonka bean. That's I would say like the one that I smell the most. The one that is inspired by the Queen of Diamonds is very oody. So if you don't like oud, you won't like it. It smells more like oriental types of perfumes that are very oody, very much around incense, stuff like that. It's a lot deeper and heavier, so if you don't like heavy scents or deep scents or oud kind of scents, you won't enjoy this. But if you like those kind of sexy types of smells that are very a little bit spicy, very oody, then you would really like this one. And like I said, there's two more for the other two queens. I've not tried them yet, but I'm super tempted to pick the Queen of Cloves because I love green scent, and I think that that's the main inspiration for her. I leave Palace here. She can keep us company while we finish this tag. But I wanted to show for my accessories, my early Christmas present from me to me. I really enjoy what this particular shop does. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just sharing the love. We love indie shops. I love indie jewelry creators, especially. My mom is a jewelry creator, so every time I can support other people who make jewelry, I'm here for that. The next prompt is the decks I want for Christmas. Well, we don't want to be here for 50,000 hours, right? So I'll just short it off because I could be here all day long reading to you my wish list. My wish list is always huge. The deck I would love for Christmas, we have the Disney Oracle that just came out as a French mass market deck. It's everything my little inner 6-year-old would love. And I want it because it's Disney and it looks cute, and I'm at a point where honestly the month was so shit, I feel like that's the kind of deck I need in my life, something supportive and sweet and cute. So I'd love that. I also really have my eye on the Dark Fairy Tales Tarot and the Circe Tarot, which are both Los Carabeo decks. They're mass market, they're nothing like expensive or anything, but they're both decks that I can't get where I am. At the moment it's difficult for me to get mass market decks that are in English. So these are two I'd love to get through my deck mules and friends who are abroad. Deck I'd love to gift others. That is a super interesting question. Obviously all of my favorite tarot decks of the year and favorite oracle decks of the year I would love to gift to a friend, and I've made a dedicated video for my favorite oracle decks of the year, top 10 and top 10 favorite or tarot decks of the year. I'll again leave it in the cards, leave it in the description box, but every single one of them I would love to give to a friend because I believe in all of them. I think they're amazing. One that wasn't in my list because it wasn't new, but that I would still love to gift to a friend, for example, because I think it's underrated and I think not a lot of people give this deck a chance, is the Tarot of the Haunted House by Los Carabeo. I feel like a lot of people put this deck in the Halloween category and maybe even write it off because it looks a little bit strange or unique. You step up into this haunted house, haunted mansion, and follow this character who is exploring each room, and each room you meet different people, vampires, some witches, some ghosts, and so you evolve through this whole story by following this main character here and exploring different parts of this haunted house, which actually corresponds to different aspects of herself. So this deck is truly special, and it's one that I don't see enough of. It's one that I feel a lot more people would benefit in their life. It's one that completely surprised me when I got it, and one that I feel like a lot of people would enjoy if they gave it a chance. And I think a lot of people don't give it a chance because they might think, oh, it's more Halloween, haunted vibes, vampires and witches. It's for that spooky time of year, when truly this is amazing for all the year long. I think this is great for introspection, for doing the work, because we can think about this particular character, this main character, as, like I said, exploring the mansion, corresponding to different facets of our life, our internal house, the different aspects of our soul. And there's like a lot you can get from this particular deck. The guidebook is really cool, even though it's a little Luz Carabeo guidebook. It's really well written. There's some awesome spreads in there. So this is a deck I would love to gift to my friend. Maybe not as their first deck. I don't think this is an easy deck to start with tarot, but if they're already into tarot and they're looking for something a little bit different, a little bit unique, that's gonna push them outside their comfort zone, this is it. The penultimate prompt is a deck I fell in love with this year. Well, I've actually made a whole dedicated video, like I said earlier, about my top 10 favorite tarot and top 10 favorite oracle deck of the year. So I'm not going to repeat myself. I rank to you from 10 to 1 my favorite tarot of the year, and then I do the same 10 to 1 my favorite oracle of the year. If you look at 3 to 1, these are truly for me the decks that I've absolutely fallen in love with. If I had to do a sneak peek here, spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled, just fast forward a little bit, move on to the next prompt. But if I had to spoil the deck that is truly outstanding this year, that kind of defines my 2023 tarot practice for me, is the Joe's Tarot. Oh my god, you guys. This deck, I'm so in love with it. It's made it to my top 10 of this year. It's actually, like, spoiler alert, the number 1 of my favorite decks of this year. I absolutely love it so much, and it's actually made it in my top 3 favorite decks ever. This is one of those decks that I can't ever see myself without now. It's got my soul. It's a Horcrux and it has part of me in it. I love everything about it. I love the artwork. I love the world building. I love the cheekiness of it. I love how it's super clever. It twists traditional meaning, but it invites us to a specific world. I love the cartoonish style, the little witches in the deck, the childlike wonder, but also the very clever kind of voice that it has. This is just perfection. I wouldn't change anything about this deck. Even the price, one of the most affordable indie decks out there. Yes, it's indie, but it's still, last time I checked, less than £40, which is unheard of for an indie deck. So honestly, the Joe's Tarot has my heart. I love it with my whole soul. I will fight you to the death. If you ever try to take it, it will be out of my cold, dead hands. We are at the last prompt, and it was, which card sums up this year? My card for 2023, after breaking down my birthday, which, if you don't know how to do that, I've made a whole video about it last year, I think. It was last year or the year before. I leave it in the cards. It's a really fun practice. It can deepen your tarot practice and your understanding of tarot, and I really recommend giving it a shot. So I leave it in the cards. But my yearly card for 2023 was Judgment, and this is the card from the Oculo Occultati Tarot. And to be honest, yeah, fair, correct, the vibes are correct. It was a good representation of my 2023 year, with everything that's happened in my personal life, in my daily life, behind the scenes, all of that. Yeah, Judgment is correct. It felt correct. Did it feel good? Not really, not always. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a Judgment year every year, for sure. It's exhausting, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of revelation, a lot of epiphanies, and I think a lot of necessarily cleansing too. Appreciate all the lessons, but I'm glad it's over. Let's just put it this way. My next yearly card is actually the World card, and I'm very excited for the World card. I think the Judgment was preparation, and now the World card is like, you're ready. And I feel ready. I feel ready to close a chapter. I feel I've already got things planned for next year, which are very aligned with the World energy, with closing chapters, with wrapping things up. This is already making sense. It's already aligning with the cosmic energies. So my friends, this is it. These were my answers to the hashtag end of year tarot tag, with some adaptations because of previous videos already filmed. I leave all the links of those videos down in the description box, and of course I leave the link to Chanel video down below, Spirited Stardust. Make sure to check her out. Thank you so much for being here. I really mean it. I want to say a huge thank you, whether you're new here or whether you've been here from the beginning. I recognize your names in the comments. I see you, those of you who are here often, who show up, who keep sending little thoughts. Just know I recognize you and I appreciate you so much. If you're not commenting, one of my beloved lurkers, know I appreciate you because I too was a lurker back in the day. When I was watching YouTube, I didn't have a channel. I never commented, I was too shy. I still watch the videos and I appreciated them. And just so if that's you right now, know I appreciate you as well. And I just want to wish you a wonderful end of the year, a good happy holiday season. I want to wish you a wonderful start of the new year. There will be a new video on Christmas Day. I'm not leaving you alone, so make sure to check that out. There will be a little surprise for you on Christmas. Until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the webs of your soul. Bye!